Good morning once again. So last time what we did was to learn how to download stock prices using Yahoo Finance. We also learned how to navigate through this and look at some details. Let's have a very quick review. Uh, what we did was to download Apple prices, Apple stock price, and we looked at the information that Yahoo Finance provides to would-be investors or those who students of finance, those who are students of investment. And here we have some information: open price, previous close, 52-week range, which means that for the past 52 weeks, the lowest price of Yahoo was of Apple was 116.21, and the highest was at 182.94. Average volume, and then market capitalization. We learned I gave a description of this. We said that market capitalization is simply how much is the stock price today, and then how much is the how many stocks that are issued. So when you multiply that, you have this market capitalization, $2.61 trillion. I think it's even higher than the, I'm not sure, I didn't check yesterday, the GNP of the Philippines. So ibig sabihin yung value ni, market value ni, let's check guys, just to be sure. GNP Philippines 2021. Let's see. So that's 95, there guys, $95 billion. Okay, just to give an idea guys, yung market capitalization ni Apple is $2.61 trillion. So mas malaki pa kaysa dun sa natin sa GNP. This is really absurd, no? Grabe, napakalaki ng market capitalization ng mga big mga global companies na to. And then we have this beta. I'm sure I discussed this with the other section, but I'm not sure if I discussed this with you. But anyway, so this is a beta 5-year monthly. So what happens here is that we take the past five years monthly stock prices of Apple, get the returns, and then compare it with the market. The market is Standard & Poor's, GSPC. And so a beta of 1.2 means it's riskier than the market, which means that, for example, if the market increases by 10%, if the returns increases by 10%, then Apple increases by 12%, kasi 1.2 times siya. On the other hand, if it goes down by 10%, Apple stocks will go down by 12%. So a beta that's more than 1 is riskier than the market. So since when you compute for beta, you're comparing it with the same market, yung Standard & Poor's, you can now compare the different betas of companies. Okay, for example, hanapin natin yung beta ni Microsoft, no? Yung Microsoft, MSFT yung ticker symbol niya. Let's highlight this. Okay. Market cap ni Microsoft halos pareho lang ni ni Apple, 2.60. Mas malaki pa nga si Microsoft. But its beta is 0.86, no? Ibig sabihin mas less risky si Microsoft. If the beta is less than 1, ibig sabihin it moves slower than the market. It's less risky. Okay, in fact, a beta of 0 means walang effect yung market sa kanya. A beta of 0.86 means that if the market increases by 10%, then Microsoft will increase only by 8.6%. So mas mababa siya kaysa dun sa increase ng market. So beta is a measurement of risk of the asset. So sa riskiness ng asset, pwedeng ginagamit natin yung beta. And what we learned last time was we can use the standard deviation as a measurement of risk. So there are different ways to measure risk. Beta is one of them. Standard deviation of the returns is also another way to measure it. Okay, so let me go back to our while here, yung GSPC guys, ito yung ticker symbol ng S&P 500. Standard & Poor's 500 is an index, no? Ang ibig sabihin ng index, it's a basket. It's not a stock, no? Although ngayon trade na rin yung S&P 500 na index. It's a basket of 500 companies in the US, big companies. So it's a proxy for the market. It represents the market. So this is the ticker symbol GSPC, Standard and Poor's. No? So if you want to get the Standard and Poor's, you can go to GSPC. But let me just show you something. So if we go to GSPC, hindi na siya diretsong nada-download eh. Dati nada-download to. So let's go to historical prices. Let me just show this to you. So historical data. Click natin, historical data. Okay, notice guys na wala nang download dito. No? Wala nang download. So, but if you want to get the prices of Standard and Poor's, ika-copy nyo na lang to. Tapos i-paste nyo dun sa paste nyo sa Excel. Okay, so that's the way to go about it. Hindi na siya I don't know why Yahoo removed this functionality yung download. Okay? So also I tried downloading si Yahoo kaso may nangyari na kay Yahoo kasi, no? Let me just show you. Okay? So si Yahoo kasi binili na ni Verizon to. No? Sold its digital properties like fantasy sports, finance, Yahoo Mail, Tumblr, Flickr to Verizon. Pero na-maintain pa rin niya yung stake niya sa Chinese e-commerce Alibaba. Kaya if you want to download Yahoo Finance, dati kasi ang ticker symbol niyan YHOO. The ticker symbol used to be YHOO pero wala na siya ngayon. So you don't see here Yahoo anymore. For a while it was AABA. Pero wala na rin yung AABA. Naging Altaba pa nga yata. Altaba. Wala rin Altaba. No? So but now it's now listed as BABA. And BABA, which is ito yung na-maintain ni Yahoo na dun sa stake niya sa Alibaba mismo. Okay, so if you want to download Yahoo, then the ticker symbol is BABA. Okay, so those are the things that I just wanted to point out to you. So I also uploaded kasi some of you were not here last time. I hope you learn how to download these stock prices as a practice, as a practical skill. But what I have done so that pareho na tayong page, no? Nasa modules natin. If you open modules, guys. Okay. So module 5, risk and return, I shared with you this Excel file. So kindly open that para pare-pareho tayo ng share prices, stock prices, which consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 stocks. Okay, these are the stock prices. Weekly from January 1, 2018 up to December 27, 2021. Okay, so we have here a portfolio of 8 stocks and 1 index. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Netflix, Tesla, Google, and Intel. Okay, once you have the Excel file, guys, kindly chat please kung yes. So that I'll be able, so that I'll proceed. Okay, thank you. Let's wait for your classmates, a few more seconds. How about the others, guys? Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's take a look at our data. But before we look at our data, let's take a look at the first worksheet here, Apple. May I know, guys, if I discussed with you candlestick last meeting? Na-discuss ba natin yung pag-plot ng candlestick, guys? Okay. Sorry. So this was in the other section. Okay, I think what we plotted yung Apple price only yung line chart lang, ano. So let me show you this one. This is a plot that we used in the other section. Nag-candlestick kami. So let me just show you how to do this. Let's use the Apple stock prices that we downloaded last time. Okay. So ito yung open, high, low, close, di ba? Sabi natin, yung stock price, may information niya na open, high, low, close, adjusted close, and then the volume. So this was the detailed data nung January 1, 2018. Magkano yung price ni Apple at the beginning of the trading day, and by how much did it decrease, increase or decrease? It went up, no, 43.75. From 42.54, it ended at 43.75. The highest was within the day 43.84. The lowest was 42.315. If you notice, ito yung plot na yun, no? This is what we call a candlestick. Okay? So puti siya kasi mas mataas yung closing price niya kaysa sa opening. So this one, guys, ito nasa dulo na to, itong line na to, yung candle, I'm looking at the candle. Let me just increase this. Okay. So this bottom part here, okay, this is the opening. This upward line here, dito sa taas niya, is the closing. How do I know that this is the opening and this is the closing? It's the color, it's white. And it means that the stock closed higher compared to the original. Itong wick na to, yung WICK, yung candle, di ba? May thread, no? May wick siya. Ito yung highest price. Ito naman sa baba, yung lowest price. On the other hand, guys, if it's black, it means ito yung opening sa taas. Ito yung closing sa baba, which means that the stock closed lower. Ito, this is the fourth data. Tingnan natin. Fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is January 22. It opened at 44,325 and it closed at 42,875. So that's why it's colored black. Ibig sabihin, bumaba yung price niya. So yung mga black dito, ibig sabihin, nasa taas yung opening, nasa baba yung closing. Again, yung wick natin dito sa yung line na to, okay? Ito yung highest price within the day, ito yung lowest price. Okay, how do we plot this? Okay, we can make use of the stock price plot sa Excel. Okay, there are many ways to do this. Let's first take a look at, highlight ko lang to. Highlight natin yung stock prices natin. Okay, then insert. Insert. Then recommended charts. Then all charts. And here we have yung stock, no? Ito, stock. Tapos apat na klaseng stock charts ang binibigay sa atin dito. HLC, high, HLC means high, low, close. Ito naman OHLC. Pag nakakita kayo ng na OHLC, ibig sabihin open, high, low, close. Okay? So for example, if we want to create, ito muna, tingnan natin to. Tapos may volume, no? Volume, high, low, close. And then volume, open, high, low, close. Let's just plot open, high, low, close, itong OHLC. And if you want to plot this in Excel, kailangan yung data natin, opening, high, low, close. Okay? And then dapat yung date as label. So yung data natin is tama naman yung order niya, open, high, low, close, no? So we can plot it. In fact, itong apat na to kaya natin i-plot, no? We can plot all this four. But let's just focus on OHLC. So i-cancel ko muna to. Okay, I'm just going to plot. I'll just plot open, high, low, close. Isama natin yung date. I-plot lang natin hanggang May. Okay. And weekly data, we're going to plot OHLC, January hanggang May, weekly data to. So once we have highlighted this data, insert, and then recommended charts, all charts, and then stock. Tapos dito tayo, OHLC. Okay? Okay. Now, pag sinama natin yung date, guys, ang nangyayari, manipis yung manipis yung plot, which I don't like. So ulitin natin, hindi ko na lang isasama yung date. Open, high, low, close lang. Okay, again, guys, pag sinasama natin date, ang nangyayari, manipis lang yung plot. So since what I want is just to illustrate, hindi naman tayo particular about the dates now. So I'll just highlight open, high, low, close. And then once again, recommended charts, all charts, stocks, itong OHLC. And tingnan nyo, mas wider yung width niya. Okay? Okay, and then we can just we'll just modify this a bit. Okay, for example, itong y-axis natin masyadong mataas siya. Okay, anyway, hindi naman siya bumababa ng 35. We can adjust this. So highlight ko siya, right-click, format axis, and instead of a minimum of 0, gawin ko na lang 35. 35, there, enter. Okay, so we can see now that the plot adjusted a bit. Okay, tapos can just remove this, or pwede natin i-design siya. Let me choose this design. Yan. Okay. This was how we generated that. And then we can put a title to this one. Okay, so this is what we call a candlestick, no? Open, high, low, close. We just place a title here. Yan. Candlestick for weekly Apple prices. Yan. So the same. Okay. All right. Any questions about this, guys? Open, high, low, close. Any questions? So you now know how to plot. You can experiment, guys. Paano kung isasama yung volume? Pwede rin isama yung volume. Just make sure to follow the instructions on how your data should be arranged. Okay, thank you. All right. So if there are no questions, let's proceed. Last time also, guys, kinompute natin yung we computed for the kasi ang topic natin risk and return, no? So we computed for the returns using yung simple returns, aka, guys, another name for this is discrete. In discrete returns, and then we also computed for the log returns, or aka continuous returns to. So sabi natin, guys, mas preferred yung log returns, and there are reasons for that. I hope guys you tried to find out why mas ginagamit yung continuous returns kaysa sa discrete returns. Okay, and we learned, guys, how to compute for the risk. Okay, sabi natin yung risk is just a measure of the variance or the standard deviation. So we did that last time. Ginawa natin, nag-insert pa tayo ng deviation squared. So di ba ang ginawa natin dito, yung log returns ang ginamit natin minus the average of the log returns, the sum of the log returns, and then in-square natin, okay? And then after doing that, we added added the square deviations, and then we divide it by the count minus 1. So we get a variance of 0.1725%. And we got the same, guys, by using the variance function of Excel. It's the variance of the log returns. No? And then we just got the square root of that. Okay, or this, or we use also the function of Excel stdev sample. Okay, so that's what we did last time. Any questions about this, guys? So we were able to identify the discrete returns, average discrete returns, average continuous or log returns, and then we were able to measure the measure in terms of variance or in terms of standard deviation. Okay, any questions? Okay, clear ba, guys? Paki-chat nga please kung clear. Okay. All right. So let's go to our portfolio of stocks here. Now let's hide from row 6. Let's just up to row 205. Let's hide this. Okay. So that we only have 10 rows that are displayed. It makes it easier to manipulate. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to compute for the average log returns, the average variance, no, the variance, and then the standard deviation. We're going to compute for the coefficient of variation. Okay, so these are the one. These are what we'll be computing today for Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Netflix, and GSPC. Okay, if we're only interested in the final result, guys, then there's a shortcut for that. But if we're more interested in looking for the returns, so let's copy this. Okay, let's first compute for the returns. Okay, so let's copy this. Okay. So this will be equal to ln, right? But we will be skipping one. Okay, it's equal to ln of the price divided by this one, right? Diba pag continuous return tayo, ln na ang ginagamit natin. So ln of the price at time t, a value at time t divided by value at time t minus 1. Okay. In fact, we just need one formula. Okay. Copy down na natin. Okay. So that's very convenient, no? Very easy to compute for the log returns in Excel. So let me pause for a while, guys. Any questions? Okay, thank you. Okay, let's wait for the others. Kindly chat, yes, guys, if you have computed for this one and if it's okay for me to proceed. I'll wait for your feedback, please. About the rest, guys. Okay, thank you, Robert. Waiting for the others. Okay, formula. That's just the natural logarithm of the price at time t divided by the price at time t minus 1. Okay, any more questions, guys? Pa-feedback naman please kung okay na, if it's okay for me to proceed now. Thank you. Konti lang ng mga nagre-respond. Pwede guys pa, ano pa. Thank you, Julian. Thank you, Alexi. Okay, so we have the returns. So we can now compute for the average log returns. No? So we just get the average of this. Is equal to average. Then let's make this into a decimal. Okay, there. So ito yung average returns natin sa stock prices na to. Weekly stock prices from January 1, 2018 up to December 31, 2021. And we can copy this to the right. There. Okay, so we can now make certain conclusions about the performance of the stocks. Okay, so in terms of returns, which stock performed best during this period from January 1, 2018, during this 4-year period? Which stock performed the best among the group, among the stocks in this portfolio? Anyone? Okay, correct. No, Tesla. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Robert. Yeah, you're correct. Tesla. No? Tesla, because Tesla, okay, Tesla had the highest return, average return. Okay, so that answers the question kung which stock had the highest, hide na muna natin to. No? Okay. So take note guys, ang basis natin yung returns and not the stock prices. We have the stock prices, we get the returns of the stock prices. Okay, and once we have the returns, we can now get the risk of the asset. No? So it should be based also not on the price of the stock, but on the returns. So let's get the variance. We did this last time. We can use the var.s. So kahit na hindi nating gawin yung r minus r squared, di ba? And then sum that up and then n over n minus 1, mahaba pa yon. Ito, automatic na to. No? So what's the variance of the returns here? Okay. So let's also make this into percent. Okay, and then you can copy this to the right. No? Okay, I'll give you guys I'll give you time to work on this. Okay, okay na ba, guys? Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, so in terms of let's compute for the standard deviation. So we can just get the square root of this, or we can do the STDEV in Excel. STDEV, the standard deviation of our returns. Okay, so either based on the variance or the standard deviation, which asset had is the least risky? Anong asset ang yung least risky? GSPC, okay? Okay, so this is the index, no? Okay, so GSPC ang pinakamaliit kasi na standard deviation. Okay, as discounting the GSPC kasi hindi naman talaga stock to, no? Index to. Among the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stocks, 8 tech stocks na except for Tesla and Netflix, hindi naman tech stock yan. But ang mga tech stocks si Apple, si Microsoft, Amazon, yes, Facebook, Google, Intel. Among them, guys, which company displayed the lowest risk? Okay, Microsoft, 3.2. Okay, yeah, it's the lowest, no? It's the lowest. So 3.2468. Okay, that's correct. Microsoft, this had the least risk, quote unquote, within this period. Within this period. Okay, so the question now is, given the log returns, given the returns and the standard deviation, which company performed best in terms of risk and return? If we're going to consider both the returns and the risk, which company would we say among the 8, let's include the index, no? Pero si index, guys, out of the picture na to kasi negative yung average return siya. No? Bumaba siya. No? Just looking at the 8 stocks talaga, guys, sino sa kanila ang pinaka magandang performance considering both returns and the risk? In terms of returns, sabi natin, sino yung best performer? Di ba si Tesla, no? Yan. But in terms of risk, ang pinaka-least risky is Microsoft. Yan. So ngayon, paano natin masasabi kung based on returns and risk, which is the better performing company stock given the time period, no? Given weekly data? So we use what we call the coefficient of variation. The coefficient of variation is, maglagay lang akong comment dito, no? Insert comment. So this is risk coefficient of variation. This is risk per unit return. AKA what we're going to do is we're going to measure, i-measure natin yung risk based on 1 unit of return. So para comparable yung mga returns, yung risk nila. So the coefficient of variation is simply dividing your standard deviation by your average returns. So copy na lang natin to. Okay, let's just make it also in percent. Okay, so based on the coefficient of variation, guys, sino yung pinaka best performer sa kanila? For this particular period lang, guys, kasi pwedeng depende dun sa type of data natin. It will all depend on the type of data that we're using. So what's the answer there, guys? Intel. Bakit si Intel? Okay, ang formula nito, guys, risk per unit return. So ano ba to? The lower, the better, or the higher, the better? What we're measuring here is risk per unit return. No? So let me just put that here, risk per unit return. In other words, guys, ano ibig sabihin nito? This means that for a 1 unit, 1% return, the riskiness that we have for Apple is around 5.96. Okay, GSPC will not enter the picture kasi negative siya. No? So pag negative, guys, yung coefficient of variation out na yan kasi ibig sabihin negative yung returns yan. So hindi na siya pwede mapili. No? So which one, guys? Microsoft? Okay, bakit Microsoft, Kyron? Okay, correct? Tama, no? So sa coefficient of variation, guys, since ang minimeasure niya risk, yung risk to, di ba? Yun ang numerator natin. So yung number na makukuha natin dito, these are risks per unit return. Ibig sabihin, for every 1% na return, pare-pareho na silang ang denominator nila 1%. Ang risk natin with Microsoft is 4.83 times, no? Kay Amazon 8.11 times or 811%. Okay? So kay Netflix 1017, etc. So the best performer, guys, in terms of coefficient of variation is, you're correct, si Microsoft, no? Kasi bakit si Microsoft? Kasi we're leveling them off, no? What if each one of them had 1% return? If each one of them had 1% return, ano yung risk involved with Microsoft? It's the lowest, no? 483. Samantalang yung iba matataas, no? Okay, so in other words, parang ganito yung picture niya, no? Yeah, correct. Thank you, Kyron. That's correct. It has the lowest risk per unit return, per unit return. So if all of them will have 1% na return, ito yung mga risk that we assume with them. And Microsoft has the lowest risk per unit return. Okay? So if we just take a look at the return, pinakamaganda si Tesla. If we just take a look at the standard deviation, pinakamaganda si Microsoft, no? Kasi siya yung less risky. But overall, guys, pinakamaganda si Microsoft based on risk and return principle. Okay? So clear ba yon, guys? Clear? Okay, thank you. Good. Now there's another measure for risk, no? Ito, guys, simplified na computation, no? Simplified computation siya. So, how do we compute for beta? Okay, how do we compute for beta? Sabi natin si beta is a measurement of the riskiness relative to the market, no? Relative to the market. So, ano ibig sabihin ng relative to the market? Okay, let me illustrate this. So what I'm going to do is magpa-plot ako, no? Insert scatter plot, no? So let me use a scatter plot. Okay? So wala pang laman, no? Wala pang laman yung scatter plot natin. Select data. So magsa-select data ako. So this is mag-a-add tayo dito, no? Add series name. Kunin natin, guys, yung i-compute natin yung beta based on beta, no? Based on our data ni Apple. So when you compute for the beta, guys, we're comparing the movement of our stock to the market, no? Ang market natin si GSPC. Okay. So sandali, let me cancel this kasi we need kailangan. Okay, what am I doing now, guys? We're now computing for the beta. Sabi natin beta is a measurement of risk. So how do we compute for the beta? We have to compare Apple with GSPC, Microsoft with GSPC, Amazon with GSPC, etc. So that way, guys, makikita natin kung how volatile our stock is compared to the market. Okay, so let me start with a blank chart. So right-click to, select data natin. No? Select data. Okay, mag-add tayo. GSPC versus lagyan natin Apple beta. So ang X natin will be the market, guys. So X natin will be the return of the market, ito. Yeah. No? And then si Y natin, Y will be si Apple. Okay? All right. Okay. Okay, we have a problem kasi hindi niya plinat guys yung mga naka-hide, no? Yun ang problema. Pag nagpa-plot tayo tapos hindi nakasama yung naka-hide. Okay, let's do this. Ulitin natin to. We will have to unhide this, no? Pag pina-plot natin. Nakita nyo guys, sandali, pause muna ako. When we were trying to plot si GSPC sa x-axis, yung returns versus si Apple sa y-axis, what happened was it did not capture yung mga hinide natin. Okay, so that's our problem, no? So ang gagawin ko muna, i-unhide muna natin to. Unhide. There. And then saka ulit tayo mag-insert ng ano. Insert. Okay, insert. Scatter plot here. So empty muna siya. Lagay ko muna siya dito. Okay? Right-click natin, right-click, select data. Kasi wala pa tayong data na pinili. Then mag-add tayo, let's call it beta, Apple beta, AAPL beta. Sabi natin guys, beta is a measurement of the sensitivity of the stock compared to the market. No? Ang market natin si Standard & Poor's 500, which is a basket of 500 different stocks. So i-highlight natin to as our Control-Shift down arrow, as our X. And then si Y natin will be Apple. Where's Apple? Here. Okay. Baba. Yan. Okay. Let's see. Okay, muna. There. Okay, tingnan nyo guys yung ano, no? Tingnan nyo yung take a look at the relationship between the market, okay? Between the market and Apple. Okay, so dito pwede natin ilagay dito yung ano, naalala niyo guys yung ano, add trend line na to. Add trend line. Tapos display equation on chart. Okay, if you recall this guys. Okay. So here, makikita natin guys, yung Y dito is your Apple, and then your X is your GSPC. So ang beta natin dito is yung 0.26. So given dun sa data natin, weekly data, ang beta ni Apple is ang beta ni Apple is 0.25, which is the slope. Kita nyo, mababa yung slope, no? Okay, mababa yung slope niya. 0.25. Okay, why don't we add another one? Let's add another beta. Okay, mag-add ulit tayo. Select data. Okay, pili tayo ha. Let's see. Let's choose again. Let's choose Tesla. Select data. Okay, add. Let's call it Tesla beta. Okay, ano yung X niya? GSPC din. Tapos ano yung Y values? Y values are Tesla returns. Okay. 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 Okay, so yung orange dito guys, mas tingnan niyo mas mas ano, mas ano siya, mas volatile siya, no? So let's add trend line. Okay, display equation on chart. Okay, take a look at this, guys. Okay, so dito, guys, yung slope dito 0.435, 0.435. So this is the slope of, sino to, guys? Sino to? Di ba si Tesla to? So makikita natin, guys, yung slope ni Tesla is 0.43, si Apple 0.25. So mas risky, guys, mas risky si Tesla. Kasi mas mataas yung slope niya. So this is your beta. Okay? As far as this data is concerned. Okay, let me pause for a while. Okay, I'll give you time to try doing that. And please feel free, guys, to ask a question kung hindi niyo makuha yung ginagawa natin. Okay, guys, any questions? Kindly chat, please, if you were able to plot si Apple, si si Tesla. And dito sa pag-plot natin, nakita natin na in terms of beta, mas risky si Tesla, no, having the higher slope. Ibig sabihin yung sensitivity niya mas malakas kaysa kay ano. And it's consistent also with the standard deviation, no? Kasi ang standard deviation ni Tesla 9.04. Si Apple is 4.1, no? 4.1. Ang pinakamaliit si Microsoft. And sige nga, guys, just one last, let's just see, no? Kung if we add Microsoft here, add MSFT beta. Again, yung sa X natin, GSPC. And sa Y natin is Microsoft returns. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Yan, itong gray, no? So gray, add trend line natin. Display equation on chart. Okay, ito yung sa ano, no? Ito yung sa Microsoft. Okay. This is the beta for Microsoft. Ito Ito naman, this is the beta for Apple. And this was the beta for Tesla. Okay. So, tingnan nyo guys, no, mas yung slope ni yung slope ni Microsoft mas mababa, no? Mas mababa. And beta is actually a measure of the slope. How sensitive your stock is relative to the market. So in this case, makikita natin as consistent with the standard deviation. The standard deviation natin kasi pinakamaliit si Microsoft 3.24 relative to Tesla 9.04. Tapos si Apple 4.1. No? So in terms of beta, makikita natin guys yung gray dito si Microsoft, which is where the slope is just 0.18. So si Tesla naman 0.43, tapos si Apple 0.25. So between the three, si Microsoft yung least na risky. Ang most risky was Tesla. Okay, let me pause guys. Any questions? Okay, I'll give you some few minutes to try to do this. If you're done, guys, kindly chat, guys, na yes, okay na, nagawa nyo. Okay, thank you, Julian. Caroline. How about the others, guys? I hope you were following. Yan. So, okay ito, no? Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, so these are skills, guys, na most probably hindi nyo matututunan to sa ibang subjects, no? So dito nakita natin, kasi ang pinag-uusapan natin dito, risk and return. Particularly now, we're looking at the risk, no? So ang mini-measure natin dito yung riskiness ng mga returns ng company. Kasi what we're doing is we are measuring, we use the returns, di ba? Ginamit natin yung log returns ng stocks. Tapos, mineasure natin yung risk doon. We were comparing the returns of the market, which is Standard & Poor's, to the stock to the chosen stock. Dito, Microsoft, Tesla, and Apple. Yung orange dito, yung same pinakamataas na slope, and the slope there is a measurement of your beta. Okay, yun yung slope natin, yung 0.43. In fact, guys, we could have derived that. Okay, so let's derive that, guys. So this is one way to compute for beta. Pwede natin gamitin yung slope function ni Excel. Okay, so let's do that. Slope. Okay, ano yung known Y's natin? Our Y will be the returns of our stock price. So Apple, control shift down arrow. That will be our known Y, comma. What will be our known X? Known X natin, guys, GSPC. There. And then we have to fix this, GSPC. We have to fix the, kailangan natin i-fix yung column, no? Yung $T tayo. Kasi we're going to copy this to the right. So we don't need to fix the row, the number. Okay. So let me pause for a while. Okay. And then, ano natin, copy natin yung okay, di ba guys? 0.25. Di ba familiar tayo dyan? Di ba? Yan, no? 0.25. That's the slope. No? That's the slope for Microsoft. Then, i-copy natin to the right. Of course, the slope, guys, of okay, the slope of GSPC is 1 kasi you're getting the slope of GSPC to itself. No? So that one dapat yan. Okay. So what can we find here? Copy nga natin to. Okay. In terms of beta, guys, we can see that it seems that in terms of beta, ang lowest na beta is Amazon. No? In fact, lower siya compared to Microsoft. Facebook is also, and Netflix, they're also lower than Amazon. No? They're lower than Microsoft. Yung pinakamababang beta is Amazon, 3.66, 3.6646. Based on our weekly data, guys, weekly data, yun ang basis natin. Okay, so maybe we can hide this now. Hide muna natin from 5. Hide ko na muna. Tapos na naman natin i-plot eh. Hide. Oops. Okay, notice you guys na pag hina-hide natin, nawawala din yung data. Okay? Kasi nakalink guys yung plot natin dito sa data natin. Okay? So maybe, okay, Control Z. If you want to preserve wala yung plot. I don't know if kung kinapi natin siya dito. Okay, tapos what am I doing, guys? Kasi pag hina-hide natin yung data, okay, nawawala yung mga points dun sa mga hinide natin. What I did was to copy it to another page, yung plot natin. Tapos i-hide ko ngayon yung data. Let's see if susunod yung dun sa dun sa kinapi natin. Okay, so yeah. Let me put this below. Ilagay ko yung plot natin sa baba. And then the reason why I'm hiding the data kasi gusto natin yung pag nagko-compute tayo mas hide. Nawawala talaga guys. No? Kita nyo yung points na wala. No? Pero dito sa kinapi natin, nawawala din. Nakalink talaga siya. No? Nakalink talaga siya. Unless we save it as a picture. Okay, so that's something that I discovered just now. No? Okay, so again guys, yung beta is also a measurement of riskiness. Anong kaiba niya dun sa standard deviation? Bakit magkaiba yung result guys? Kasi ang standard deviation or variance, ang tinitingnan lang natin yung riskiness ng returns, yung dispersion ng return ng ano mismo, ng asset niya, siya lang mismo. Apple, dispersion ng Apple returns. Dispersion ng Microsoft returns. Ang beta naman guys, kino-compare natin siya sa market, no? So that's the difference. So that's why we're having different results here. In terms of standard deviation, ang ang pinaka less risky is Microsoft. But in terms of beta, ang least risky is Amazon, no? So, makikita natin siya yung pinakamaliit na beta. Okay, let's just see guys. Let's just see. Babalikan natin yung ano natin yung data natin sa Yahoo Finance. Compare lang natin yung standard na beta dito, which is 5 years na monthly data. Kasi ang ginamit natin na pag-compute ng beta, what we used was, diba 4 years tayo, 4 years weekly beta. So definitely guys, magiging iba yung measurement ng beta dun sa Yahoo Finance, no? So let's take a look at Amazon. Okay? Amazon, let's see. Ang beta kasi ni Apple, okay. Again guys, AAPL. What's the beta of Apple? 1.2, di ba? 5-year to na monthly data. So kinumpute yung beta niya. Okay, ibig sabihin nito guys, how sensitive is Apple returns to the market, to S&P 500. Tingnan natin guys si Amazon, no? Amazon ba yung pinakamababa sa atin? Yeah, Amazon 3.66 yung beta niya. Ang beta natin ng Apple dito is 0.25 no? Dito ang beta niya dito is 1.2. So medyo iba kasi magkaiba yung dates na ginamit natin. But let me see Amazon. Let's see Amazon. Okay, ang beta niya 1.10, no? 1.1. Ang beta ni Apple was 1.2. So mas mababa pa rin yung mas mababa yung beta ni Amazon based on a 5-year data, no? And monthly data. 5-year monthly data. Now, as an exercise guys, since alam niyo na mag-compute ng beta, I want you to check, for example, kaso mag-download kayo ng 5-year na monthly data, no? If you download the monthly data of Amazon and then the monthly data of GSPC and then get their returns and the slope, will you be getting 1.10? Will you be getting 1.2 for Apple? That's a good exercise to do. Okay, pause muna ako guys. Any questions so far? Okay, any questions? I'll rename this. Hindi pa siya portfolio, no? So stock. Stock returns and risk. Okay, questions guys? Or kung pa pwede guys, paki-chat kung clear so far. Okay, good. Good. Thank you guys, thank you sa feedback. Yung iba, sana all guys nagre-respond, sana all nagbibigay ng feedback niya. Okay, thank you. Thank you, salamat, no? So, question ko lang guys, let me check lang kasi baka mali yung yung alam ko. Have you discussed this in your other subjects? Nakapag-discuss na ba kayo ng ganito na pinaplot yung shares tapos yung beta? Have you ever encountered this lesson, guys? Good, good. Kasi talagang dito nila mamimitong lesson na to, guys. In fact, sa other FMDFINA, hindi nga yata dinidiscuss to eh. Iba yung approach, no? Pero sa atin kasi ang ginagawa natin actual to, no? Actual. We downloaded actual prices. We looked at the measurements of their log returns, okay, etc. So this is very practical. Talagang ginagawa to sa real world, no? Tinitingnan when you do analysis, tinitingnan nila kung ano ba yung performance ng mga stocks. This is the way to go. Okay. And again, guys, one thing we notice, guys, na kapag hina-hide natin yung data tapos nagpa-plot tayo, nababawas din yung mga data points, no? And you can see here that medyo nag-increase yung in fact ang nangyari sino Orange, guys? Si Orange, si Tesla eh. Nag-negative yung slope, oh. Okay, so hindi na tama to, no? Hindi na tama to. Okay, so we cannot depend on this plot kasi nga nung hinide natin yung mga data points, tinanggal niya dito sa plot, no? I know there's a way to go about hiding your data points without affecting the graph, but I haven't explored that yet. So maybe you can help me explore that. Okay, another thing we can work on, guys, as by way of yung curiosity, no? We can check kung yung pag-compute ba ng beta ni Yahoo Finance is based on the slope, no? Kasi sabi natin, the beta is the sensitivity of the stock relative to the market. Yung market natin yung GSPC. So, if you can download, kunyari, yung beta ni Amazon, yung 5-year data, no? 5-year data, dapat yung date ngayon, no? In other words, guys, ito, no? 5-year data. So ito yun. Kasi this is 5 years. 5-year data. And then try to verify if it's really indeed 1.10. Kasi kung i-aan natin to, full screen ko lang to, ha. So this is Amazon, okay? Asan si Amazon yung blue? Where's Amazon here? Blue. Ito, no? This is Amazon, the blue one. Okay, where's GSPC? GSPC is this, no? Itong violet. Ito. Okay, so we can see, guys, that yung slope talaga ni Amazon, okay, mas mataas kaysa kay GSPC. Okay, which is indicative, guys, na greater than 1 talaga yung beta 1, which makes sense, no? 1.1. Mas mataas siya. Okay, so it's almost time, guys, but next meeting we'll wrap up this session. Ang gagawin natin, guys, we're going to create a portfolio, no? So let me just quickly i-copy ko lang ulit to. Copy ko. So dito na ako gagawa. Okay. Tapos I'll copy, guys. I'll copy this one. Okay. Dito muna. Now, these are the returns for the individual assets. Now, sa concept ng risk and return, ang ginagawa ng mga investors, nagre-create sila ng portfolio, which means that hindi lang isang stock ang tinitingnan nila. Hindi lang isang stock ang mini-maintain nila sa kanilang investments. What they do is they have different stocks. No? Why is that so? Okay, guys, it's almost time. So sorry for extending just by 1 or 2 minutes. No? Let me just explain this. Now, the rationale for having a portfolio of assets sa investments nyo is that it mitigates against risk. So ang nangyayari guys, pag may portfolio, what happens is that nami-minimize yung risk. No? Nami-minimize yung risk. So for example, if we have a stock of just Apple and Microsoft, okay, ang kailangan natin dyan yung weights niya. So this is just a 2-stock portfolio. And let's say that it's equally balanced siya. So ibig sabihin 50% yung yung weight ni Apple at saka weight ni Microsoft. Okay? So ang returns nila will be equal to yung average return ni Apple, multiply that by 50%. Okay? Tapos yung kay kay Microsoft will be okay? Therefore, guys, ang return ng portfolio is just the sum of this. Okay, yeah. So what's this telling us? If you have a portfolio, guys, of Apple and Microsoft siya, na tig 50%. Half yung investment sa Apple, half yung investment sa Microsoft. Our average return would be 0.68, no? 0.68. And it will be between yung average return ni Apple at saka average return ni Microsoft. Okay, but next meeting guys, i-discuss natin yung risk. Ano yung risk kung meron tayong dalawang asset? And we will find out that the risk using standard deviation is lower compared to the two. Kasi si Apple, ang risk niya 4.15, si Microsoft 3.2. Pag nag-portfolio tayo, makikita natin na ang risk niya will be lower than any of these two. That's what happens, guys. That's the rationale why we have portfolio. Kasi it mitigates against the risk. So the more stocks, guys, the lower will be your portfolio risk compared to the individual assets. Okay? So let me stop recording now.